Can't Hurt Me, Master Your Mind and Defy the Odds, by David Goggins is a memoir and self-help book that chronicles his incredible journey from a troubled childhood to becoming one of the toughest endurance athletes and military professionals in the world. The book outlines Goggins' philosophy of mental toughness, personal accountability, and the power of the human spirit to overcome extreme adversity. Below is a detailed summary of the book. 1. Goggins' early life, overcoming abuse and poverty. David Goggins starts the book by discussing his traumatic childhood. He grew up in Buffalo, New York, in a household dominated by an abusive father who physically and emotionally tormented his family. His father ran a roller rink where Goggins and his brother worked long hours. Eventually, his mother escaped with the children, but the scars of abuse and poverty followed Goggins into his school years. Challenges: Goggins dealt with bullying, racism, and a learning disability. He struggled academically and faced low self-esteem. Turning point: after seeing his potential as a student athlete slip away due to a lack of discipline, Goggins fell into depression and gained significant weight. 2. Becoming a Navy SEAL, embracing discipline and suffering. Goggins was overweight and working as a pest exterminator when he saw a documentary about Navy SEALs, which ignited a desire for change. He set a goal to join the SEALs, but he had to lose over 100 pounds in 3 months to meet the qualifications. Preparation: he dedicated himself to intense physical training, often running multiple times a day and learning how to push through pain and discomfort. Hell Week: Goggins completed 3 Navy SEAL Hell Weeks, a grueling test of physical and mental endurance, after suffering multiple injuries and setbacks, including broken legs. Despite these challenges, he never quit. Lesson: Goggins realized that most people only operate at 40% of their true potential. His philosophy is that when the mind tells you to quit, you're not even halfway to your full capacity. He called this the 40% rule. Breaking records in endurance sports. After his military career, Goggins set his sights on ultra-endurance events like ultramarathons and triathlons. He pushed himself to perform in some of the most grueling races in the world, often without proper training or preparation, just to test the limits of his mental toughness. Endurance feats: Goggins completed numerous ultramarathons, including the Badwater 135, one of the toughest foot races on Earth, despite facing severe medical issues like kidney failure and broken bones during some of the races. Guinness World Record: Goggins also broke the Guinness World Record for the most pull-ups completed in 24 hours, after multiple failed attempts. Mindset: he continued to emphasize the importance of suffering as a means to self-improvement. He believed that the more a person can endure hardship, the stronger they become mentally and emotionally. 4. The Accountability Mirror. One of Goggins' core methods of self-improvement is what he calls the accountability mirror. This involves looking at oneself in the mirror and being brutally honest about personal weaknesses and shortcomings. Self-reflection: Goggins encourages people to write down their goals and tape them to their mirror. He would write messages to himself such as "you are fat" or "you are lazy," and use these as motivation to take action. No excuses: he advocates for taking complete responsibility for failures and mistakes, eliminating excuses, and taking control of your life. 5. Calloused Mind, Developing Mental Toughness. Goggins repeatedly discusses the concept of building a calloused mind, much like how hands develop calluses after repeated exposure to physical work. By consistently pushing oneself beyond comfort zones, the mind becomes tougher and more resilient. Dealing with pain: Goggins embraced pain, suffering, and discomfort as necessary tools for growth. He viewed pain as a mechanism to forge inner strength and believes that comfort is the enemy of progress. Visualization: he emphasizes the power of visualization and positive self-talk, using these tools to break through mental barriers. Goggins would often visualize the struggles and hardships he was about to face, preparing himself mentally to endure them. The Cookie Jar. Goggins' cookie jar is a mental tool where he recalls moments of past success and perseverance in times of hardship, drawing strength from previous accomplishments to push through new challenges. 6. Overcoming limitations and defying the odds. Goggins faced many medical issues, including a congenital heart defect that required surgery, multiple injuries during training and races, and other physical ailments. However, he refused to let these issues deter him from his goals. Never giving up. One of Goggins' key messages is that no matter how much pain, failure, or difficulty you face, you should never quit. He calls quitting the worst possible action because it prevents you from realizing your potential. Redefining impossible. Goggins repeatedly sought to challenge and redefine what is impossible. He advocates for setting extreme goals and consistently working toward them, believing that the human spirit is capable of far more than we think. That taking souls and mentality. Goggins introduces the concept of taking souls, which means outworking your competitors and proving to them and yourself that you are willing to go further than they ever thought possible. Mental edge. He uses this mentality as a way to gain a mental advantage in difficult situations, seeing challenges as opportunities to dominate rather than as obstacles to fear. Mental edge. He uses this mentality as a way to gain a mental advantage in difficult situations, seeing challenges as opportunities to dominate rather than as obstacles to fear. Competitiveness. This mindset is about turning fear and competition into motivation, using the doubts and underestimation of others as fuel to push harder. Life lessons and legacy. The book concludes with Goggins urging readers to embrace discomfort and adversity, as these are the true paths to personal growth and happiness. He emphasizes that it's not about talent or innate ability, but rather the willingness to put in the work and face challenges head-on. Mindset shift. He encourages everyone to adopt a mindset of personal accountability, taking control of their thoughts, behaviors, and outcomes in life. He believes that by pushing through suffering and hardship, we can unlock a better version of ourselves. Continuous improvement. For Goggins, there is no finish line. Life is about continuous self-improvement, and no matter how much you achieve, there is always more work to be done. Key takeaways from Can't Hurt Me. The 40% rule. You are capable of much more than you think. Most people quit when they're only 40% of the way to their potential. Accountability. Be brutally honest with yourself about your weaknesses and use that as motivation to improve. Embrace suffering. Pain and discomfort are essential for growth. The more you suffer, the more resilient you become. No excuses. Take full responsibility for your life. There is always something you can do to improve, no matter the circumstances. Embrace suffering. Pain and discomfort are essential for growth. The more you suffer, the more resilient you become. No excuses. Take full responsibility for your life. There is always something you can do to improve, no matter the circumstances.